Meadows round 4 versus Jason.
Let me just set up the email chain. Jason. That's Jason. Sent.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Just got it. I'm downloading it.
Okay. This is a timer. Are you ready? Got it? Yeah. I'll close it. Okay. All right. Then I can start. I guess 6 minutes. Timer. Okay. The contention is computation. You should understand capitalism as a computer operating by use of algorithms to control and mark bodies through racial capitalism's code of the world that locks in fractal fascism and racialized violence. Bella 21. Capital was always a computer commodification, encrypting qualities of quantities from racialization information, state machines and post-calculus, experiencing a populative scale failure to address genocide, militarism, racism, pandemic, anti-blackness, extinction, racial capital, rendered democratic governance on mode to take the form of fascism, only to engagement, the reprogramming, abstraction, secure victory, reading and writing of code on body surveillance, overcoding algorithms, execute on the flash by codification, violently impose reforming of bodies, the code of race functions of redetermined unequal redistribution, global resources correlates race and value, imposing this globally and called social difference, slavery, colonialism, genocide, gender repression, militarization, policing, parasites, and pursuit of power, the world computer, inscribing itself and everything else, world computer takes civilizational racism deeply into calculation, understand generalization of computation and extension of capital that require calculus of social difference, include those powered by racism, computation recognized as a result of an ongoing struggle between what habitals and the to be as a local as they seem neutral as a result of oppression, and some people do have a de facto right to housing. For others, access is filtered through financialization by the encoding of racial divides through use of neutral algorithms and gender value that upholds segregation, displacement, authorization, and alienation. Field through Raymond 21. Financialization is racial capital through abstraction, organized relation, housing a site which divides are encoded finance data, digital tech perpetuate bias, seeking opportunity, incorporates existing divides, creates divisions, algorithms construct racialized character upon which right to housing relies, whiteness, racial other, within credit debate not based not just on histories but stats that are legacy of discrimination models, price allocate, deny housing, producing divides, operate lending in African American neighborhoods, credit scoring, trenching, and mortgage scoring, split and risk and ways, linked to forms of racial dispossession, makes huge redlining maps to segregate non-white places, redlining was powerful, obscure cultural and segregation, dispossession, displacement, continue, community classes low value, high risk, requiring revaluation that results in displacement, serve to drain capital and perpetuate racial wealth gap, valuation system, incorporate race, naturalizing withholding space coded as non-white, violent separation of people from homes, financialization to obscure this by introducing intermediaries, naturalize decay, death of a black sense of space, are part of a white supremacist or socio-spatial dialectic, make land that productive, profitable finances on new finances along with deeply racialized, combination with automated digital technologies, housing financialization reconfigures racism, shifting it into automated systems, and meanwhile, computational capitalism's total hegemony over life increases and has a direct relationship to collapse of planetary systems and ecological devastation and soft power wars, which culminate in extinction in November 21. Data extraction become key in production processes. Markets understood as detriment to the climate system, between economic power and political sovereignty is open to debate, corporations, deceitful exercise and surveillance. A global architecture of behavior modification driven by states, corporations, military apparatuses, our shared infrastructure nervous system maps out psychophysical limits. Nothing escapes its control. Effects, dreams, thoughts. Mining companies unleash vehicles on the seabed, creep across the bottom, scraping each thousands of pounds of sediment into surface, remove material, flush the rest back, toxins, poison ocean, hundreds of miles. Capital leaves on habitable zones, debris, toxins, waste, heaps of humans. A ubiquitous digital architecture becomes new Leviathan. Beings embedded embedded in complex technostructures intervening in the Earth system on a planetary scale, transition of planetary boundaries, climate change, agenda, land use, biodiversity loss, perturbation of nitrogen and phosphorus, release of nanoparticles, acceleration of extinction, technosphere is part of biosphere, combining complex network of intelligence, develop shifting powers between human and technological time to extraction, life as a commodity, corporation, intervening directly in ecosystems, algorithmic intelligence, the integration of technopositive and prediction tree, life as computable computational logic is the source of perception, moving towards general intelligence, monitor behavior, to reveal how it could be modified, optimized, fossil capital, soft power, war, and saturation of the digital come up against terrestrial limits as the planet burns, not only bodies in peril, but fate of everything, including life, resolved. The United States ought to guarantee the right to housing. In the wake of the commodity-based system's failure, rights-based purchase is an integral part of the global fight against racial capitalism, AR 17. Private housing failing people who find ownership renders increase half pay 30% income around 500,000 are homeless, supply and demand neglect, not profitable housing for the poor, build condos for the elite. Results show the starkly problem is capitalism between housing and casino, dominated by big business speculation, drives up price, which affects POC and school moms, dependent upon private developers to extract as much profit as possible, not benevolently support improvement for private relief, solving how to acquire millions of people under idea housing is even right, fight for housing, broader cycle of working strongest, connected to radical labor movement, retains incredible potential power. And the 1AC's demand is a non-reformist reform, which combines mutual aid with state-focused harm mitigation that recognizes the state's compliance and accumulation, but also recognizes that targeted material solutions are required to survive amid everyday instances of violence. Katanga 22. Movements focus on non-reformist reforms and dual power, organized, cooperative, still participant in politics, creating all services rooted in transformative justice principles. Don't call the police offer community-based alternatives, market-based solutions, failing stakeholders, capitalism might invest at the expense of the working response to lack of housing as evictions and surveillance. Police as agents of capitalists to carry out this violence. The anti-state grassroots work carried out by movement groups. The focus is ordinary people they wish to organize, forcing organized to struggle for solutions that go beyond getting better state services. Housing advocates have been vigorously agitating against this conceptualized vision that goes beyond housing reform and shadow future with permanent supportive non-punitive housing for all. The right to housing and housing functions as the wages of racial capitalism is used to keep people down. The plan's combination of revolutionary consciousness and housing generates moments of mutual aid, which transform housing from a side of the commodity to one of care and builds new commodity communities in its place. 2x20. The racial and class structure of housing deprivation is inside an economy to benefit of that economy. Recognized housing becomes transformed from wage and a commodity as the wages racial capitalism. The abolition project is radically imagined socially productive communal and community building practice. Housing is a site where care and reproductive work can become crucial sites of anti-capitalist abolition and transformation. It begins from solidarity, not charity. Reformism or policy work is demobilizing, providing no direct relief. Mutual aid provides an alternative that seeks change through dismantle and challenge structures of oppression. Calls attention to why that gap is there, widening the horizon of what and whose value transform both a relationship and other forms of attachment within them. We recognize the right to housing is not the end, but the beginning, which paves the way for post-capitalist becoming and the general strike against computation. Valor 21. As with plantation and factory institute for domination-based revolutionary consciousness consider collectivization of debt, we might create non-capitalist becoming enable oppressed communities to leverage world-making capacities, occupy money, reach or computation that are to do other and generate content, build an economy capable of recognizing mutual indebtedness, honoring contributions so we make kin, take down the digital information, Marxism, anti-racist, feminist, queer, decolonial never requires to demonstrate the inclusion of the digital endemic codification of perception of implies new acting schemes and means of production, constitute reverse subsumption acting that would release aspirations foreclosed by techniques and never of global proportions. Let's make participants authors of distribution of value. We reproduce the digital that would or acceleration requires complexity while embracing notion liberation can be non-exploitative, engendered by all who are oppressed. New guards the same old will not free inmates by supporting revolution. The masses become the authors of history, and conditionality is a voting issue. It skews 1AR time allocation and favors argumentative irresponsibility. The cost of reading a bad counterpoint should be the same as bad dissad. The violation is preemptive. Dispositionality solves their offense because if we perm, they can kick. Let me just get my timer. Yeah, I'm ready.
Adam, you good? Let's start now. Only thing exempted is Condor, right?
Yes.
Plan. What does he have to?
Guarantee right to housing.
What is a non-reformist reform?
A non-reformist reform is a demand on the state, which is not necessarily say that we should make this better, but that we should recreate it in such a way that the old system goes away.
Who's the United States?
The government.
What government? USFG?
If you want to have a competition debate, we can.
Sure. Katunga talks about state-focused harms mitigation. What does this look like?
State-focused harms mitigation, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
I think that state-focused harms mitigation look like, while the state is bad, and we would say that the state is not good, we need to use the state as a sledgehammer because of the amount of power that it has.
How does the AF prevent data extraction?
How does it prevent what?
Data extraction?
Data extraction? Well, we didn't claim that it does. We think that the problem, it's not data good, data bad, it's the way the data is used. So we think the data used to keep racialized bodies out of things and to discriminate is
so
bad.
How does the AF change how data extraction
with housing
is used?
or in general?
Like, as a result of the AF? Like, in
Okay, so in general, we're not saying that data is bad, we just think that racial capitalism uses data as an instrument in how it treats the world. And so by abolishing racial capitalism, the data that is used is not like based on like race. The data that is being used by racial capitalism is based on like race, gender, religion, sexuality in order to determine like life prospects and regulate access.
Sure. Deep sea mining. Mbembe talks about deep sea mining. How does the F solve?
Yeah, so Mbembe is saying deep sea mining because of companies wanting money. We think that under the outcome of the revolution, there would be no more profit drive, and so they wouldn't go to make money. We don't think that that would have to happen.
Why is deep sea mining bad?
Deep sea mining? We think deep sea mining is bad because when they scrape inches off the surface of the ocean, it causes like mercury to be pumped back, which poisons the environment around it.
Why is that bad?
Why is that bad?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we think death is bad.
Death is bad?
Yeah.
Okay. Does extinction outweigh?
What do you mean by does extinction outweigh?
What is the worst impact if death is bad?
Lots of death.
Lots of death.
There might be amounts of impacts that can outweigh extinction. We think that we could have this debate, but that we think generally as a general principle that dying and death is bad. We think poisoning the environment would be horrible for humans and animals, and that basically is killing our planet and killing us.
How does non-reformist reform resolve for capitalism?
We think
or like
that,
the way we use it?
Well, I don't really understand the question. What do you mean?
Like,
I'll answer the question.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll send the dockets to the case.
Okay.
Cases top down.
Hey, what you can do is you can use this, so you don't have to stand so close. Or if you want to stand.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. It's
I'll get it. I'm opening it. Where is? 1 second. Okay, let me just time.
You good? I don't.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Can when the federal judiciary alter the failure to guarantee the right housing violates customary international law, there's a right housing customary international law, which means the kind of is abiding us also opportunities at all four. CIL is a generally considered practice of the nation. It is not only widespread, but based on the belief that practice requires CIL is set to a federal common law where that allows ambiguous practice of the nation can be relevant, most significant to protecting the right housing. As the ICSC are the U.S. is obligated last year referring from acts which defeat the purpose of a judicial service emanating from the HR recognize the obligation to take positive measures. It may be considered customary and thus binding yes laws ambiguous, and the covenant should be assigned to support recognition of the right ancestors and for binding incorporation customary law similar to CIL, and of course remains unclear. The important questions are whether CIL is the resolution will determine power of CIL incorporation is required binding and applicably yes court CIL becomes a defining law in the case of clash CIL must prevail. CIL should be directly enforceable in courts. CIL claims have been based on a statute. CIL to be directly incorporated with that statutory support. The Constitution federal CIL should be interpreted in letter. CIL this world offer limitless possibilities for protection and ruling on the right housing is key to revitalize CIL compliance. Hello, 21 UDH are only enforceable with consent. U.S. courts of limited enforceability via government should be enforced on rather than federal law rulings in the Constitution or as under a supremacy clause treaties are law of land erosion treaty. Supremacy is an indisputable trend. Right housing, including international governance, is playing an increasingly important role with the UN ensure this year, monitoring yes compliance with treaty obligation and applying customary laws and economic paradigm cast on to the global currency exchange and 14. Challenges represent a currency for future survival, jurisdiction limited by territorial sovereignty, the paradigm general problems that challenge humanity, currency global war system, seasonal monopoly, the proliferation remains unregulated. WD Kevin represents currency regarding terrorism, what is needed, the economic paradigm not combined, adjusted within a global enterprise and responsible and ecosystem for surveillance beyond a nation state, and warming air is global for food and water may be under some publishing because the capacity or subject actually actions and even will be beyond a single state and printed with facilities counterparts are only merely advisory content and not in the case of because because court not likely to have any impact on the outcome would amount to advisory opinion because there's no actual dispute and voice resident and the non-benefit of 86. Advisory opinions are banned and required systems will be considered reserved federal judicial powers affected independent effective by binding and Purdue do the Cabinet severs resolving the colon entails legislative action part 1. Course action to that on by legislative result comes from a resolution by legislative bodies and that refers to all three branches. Yes, District Court of Massachusetts 3. Indicate reference to a group resolution U.S. Miller 86. The U.S. listing entity not to be coded with item 1 branch each part of the indivisible whole and enrollment to the plaintiff's legislative question is all for legislative initiative reconstruct rightizing the nation must act affirmatively by adopting legislation. The act specified an actor or mechanism CX footnote. The active mechanism is the basis of all strategy and now not specifying let some way and reclarify after they heard our strategy and possible moving target. Our reject perms accountability reject drop the 2 pieces into the starting point next stop. Body and seizing piece of Pazzi grenade, Nakagatan, 1026, Johnson, about to begin to Ukraine, $61 billion for Ukraine, $40 billion for the border bipartisan support, including Mitch McConnell, Russia worker, and Susan College. We should be able to move forward. Biden called on elected officials to recently NPCSQ determines the frequency and size of opinion. 924, in an increasing polarizing environment, Ukraine is a significant issue. Domestic political considerations save the way. President's approach foreign wars, decades long record concludes during the current war, bipartisan consensus begin to unravel the vital contributed human situation to escalate. There's no guarantee that fragile coalition will hold the nations that capable of escalating involvement in Vietnam because political controversy under a conflict pressure, but in delay, funding aspect of and results turn into avoided damage expelled though, or for the red PC and the plantations of current 23 minimal markets led to action and the government failed authors. Now, new housing independence, not push for housing as a legislative priority, independent, nuclear top priority, was Ukraine, features the resources countries as a limiting factor, widening agenda creates challenges and Biden will need to invest more PC pushing for funding administration plan failed to pass out, but Biden failed to lobby for and funding ASCII even a small gap encourage escalation. You got 10-12 immediate assistance for escalation. Russian victory encourage territorial ambition to target NATO to target U.S. Russia conflict ammunition is depleting rapidly of emphasis gaps in funding delay central supplies Russia barriers or winter funds impasse now since the Occidental assistance European result dysfunction validating their Kremlin's leadership on Ukraine solidified the NATO line such as resisting NATO strategic approach Russian incursion and goes nuclear program 22. Russian invasion of Ukraine could precipitate water conflict, ripple effects across the global stressing the international water lines, financial and energy markets, arms control in the face of a violent great power combination, and Russian military venture, and easily escalated to a larger conflict stretching from the Baltic to Black Sea and further. Washington, European Putin will escalate division in NATO, European destruction, undue efforts to pivot Asia, raised among allies, U.S. commitment free China, new wave of proliferation into the territory of allies, stress and nuclear landscape with Russian U.S. fighting a proxy war case. Skip the first one. Negative perception. They should describe a ton of super large structures like global computational markets, but defending unilateral U.S. rate housing no spilloff framing. Exchange and Wasteman Council 14. We have reason to prevent exchange and high average 2 14 2 times 10 to 14 exchanges. Reversal winter we don't have better evidence about how to evaluate exchange if we did reason we know how for whether you are present cost of winning is one compared to with keeping one option open. Sisters do they care about death and death is bad. We're impacting in deep sea mining. Big consensus of deep sea mining. They cannot solve their impact if they don't end deep sea mining. Deep sea mining is more eco-friendly than terrestrial mining. C7. Environmentally seaborne mining is a better alternative to terrestrial mining. Mining on land leaves a substantial footprint at least polluted waterways, carbon emission, and millions of tons of white chalk. Online, you have to dig a shelter, ship all of the services you from the seafloor. You're cutting a lava deposit from the seabed, so there's no sheltering little white shark. And land mining increases the rate of warming, cause of biodiversity loss territory. 12. Deep sea mining as a solution to ecological destruction by mining on land. Greek can only be systematic deep sea mining. For the delay mining this year, more virgin forests have to be destroyed to make way for mining to strengthen biodiversity as well. Also, the capacity to mentioning land decline quality in the average or grid on land. The greening company requires lots of metal whose territorial extraction cost restriction deep sea mining and environmentally friendly. Deep sea technology should script to the ocean floor getting metals like a lawnmower, cutting garrison, ships running in close to avoid spills and pollution and AI. AI will be safe bomb and TNA is the glue line will be so Harvard no solutions to mine puts 90% on eliminating AI schedule or distributed that safety can be handled by testing and engineering huge research to be advised economic and such as push element. It's not useful to have AI that doesn't do what you want. Go to the cap good stuff. Their only risk of winning an impact relies on them spilling over into a broader labor movement's free market, create a global peace change of one. Previous studies look at trade between two belligerents not accurate compelling theory about how trade difference completely masculineness about partners play a role allies are Christian cost and extending to reduce the conflict results strongly support that states are less likely to initiate conflict more dependent on partners. ED has a stronger part than dynamic funding result long-standing debate about whether linkages neighbor conflict should just foster peace and capitalism make sure that economically sustainable McDonald Now 20, economists have been remarkably stable, focus on currency and proscribed empirical evidence contradicts currency, cracking the sounds not experienced low crisis in 1970s, and also should net downward trend and return on capital, target stagnation is misleading. 2000 was not preceded by decline of profitability, a simple solution, it's a direct restructuring, sovereign defaults that while sovereign historically frequent, does not have enduring effect. Cut McDonough at enduring effect. Didn't read anything after that.
Where is enduring effect?
Does not have
Okay,
enduring
I see it.
effect.
Let me just mark it really quick. Boom. Okay, I'll start cross in a second. Okay, let me just set a timer. Alright, cross. What's the status of the counterplan?
It's dispo.
What's the condition?
We can kick if you ask in CX.
What?
We can kick if you ask in CX.
If I ask what in CX?
If you ask for the condition in CX.
The fuck? Okay. Alright, I guess, this sort of, net benefit, what is it?
To the counterplan?
Yeah.
The CL compliance, solving like external risks, and the Ukraine facade, and everything on case.
And Ukraine?
Yeah, and Ukraine.
Okay, why is Ukraine a net benefit?
What?
Why is Ukraine a net benefit?
Because the counterplan doesn't link to Ukraine.
Why?
It's not USFG.
Okay. I guess the sort of solvency, or you didn't read that. What's the warrant for neg on presumption?
Yeah. So you described large structures like data, AI, etc.
Yeah. So then, why does that mean you vote neg on presumption?
Because the implementing direct housing in the U.S. specifically doesn't spill out to other.
Yeah. Why?
What?
Yeah, but you haven't said why. Okay, fine.
You only
reject
defend
the
the U.S. direct housing, not.
Okay. I guess sort of on the reasons the drop the debater, it was on must spec agent on the CIL. Am I correct?
It's only yeah. And
Okay. Sort of the deep sea mining stuff. I guess what's the warrant? Like, why does this matter? Why is terrestrial mining better?
What? Multiple terrestrial? You mean deep sea mining?
Yeah, and where does it say that deep sea mining isn't bad?
What? We think the alternative is terrestrial mining.
All right, actually that's fine. Okay.
So from the
sort
seafloor,
of
you're
the AI
getting
will
along
be
with
safe.
the.
What the hell is the impact of this? What does this mean?
It's defense if you go for AI bad.
AI bad. Okay.
It's not independent offense.
Okay. Cool. Chen evidence. What's the warrant for cap being peaceful?
We give multiple, or it talks about examples and how like empirics prove that states don't initiate conflict when they're dependent. I.e., when trade exists.
What about Ukraine and Russia, which you read a diss out about? What about Israel and Hamas?
We think they weren't like dependent on each other for
Why?
trade.
Wait, what? Okay.
Well, China's about like interdependence. We think that when countries are interdependent.
What's interdependence?
Like when they rely on each other for
How is
trade.
the world not interdependence now?
What?
How is capitalism not already globally interdependent?
Capitalism exists now. The app prevents that.
Okay, but I'm saying, what I'm getting at is, all right, capitalism is interconnected now. Okay, that's fine. I guess sort of the there was no other theory arguments beyond that, right?
No, we skipped over the presumption theory.
Yeah. Okay. Extinction outweighs, or never mind. Actually, yeah, I'll just start prep right now.
Here's my time.
Stop prep 106, sending the doc.
Order?
Order, wait, I had 106, hold on, by accident. Order is just gonna be the, wait, let me just send it first here. Email. Okay. Order is gonna be the case, and then it's gonna be the, CIL counterplan, and then it's gonna be the, shoot, what was it? Case, CIL counterplan, Ukraine. Here.
Is there an order on case? Like, I
Yes.
flowed condo separately.
I will give you the order on case. Here, docs, or that's not one, oops. Here, doc sent. Order on case, it's gonna be, okay, sent. Order on case, it'll just be, probably just top down on the 1C order.
Top down, 1, 2, okay.
Yeah, and I sent the doc, so when everyone's ready.
I haven't gotten it, give me a second.
Okay, just tell me when. Let me make sure I sent it. Did it go through? Yeah, I pressed reply all, so it should be there.
Okay, I got it. I'm good.
Alright. Cool. Alright, Adam. Alright, cool. Okay, 4 minutes. Starting, yeah, just in case. Alright.
Take a risk on the collapse of capitalism because the alternative is extinction or something much worse. There's a few warrants. First is planetary systems that drive to extract, disrupt global biodiversity and necessitates doing things like burning down the Amazon because of the desire to make land profitable. Two is seabed mining. Mining companies scraping just off the surface of the ocean to take metal out before pumping toxic debris back into the ocean, which poisons animals and humans for miles and creates uninhabitable dead zones. These cascade, which causes extinction. We'll do the line line here on the answers to deep sea mining. They're wrong here because they assume that the alternative is only mining, but we think that we would end all mining. We just have a specific scenario related to deep sea mining. The reason that we mine for resources is in order to use those resources for production, which means that we solve the terminal to this impact, and we also solve land mining, which means that we access this and means that ocean mining isn't good. They have not engaged on the warrant level that it pumps toxic minerals back into the area, which means that we're definitely winning at rest. Third is soft power wars, which heat up as resources run late. The global imperial powers will turn on each other over who gets them. That escalates to use of nuclear weapons and disproves their sort of cap-solve war argument, which means that you should not evaluate this argument. Additionally, it's empirically disproven by the fact that we see things like Israel and Palestine fighting and Russia and Ukraine. They have said in cross-sects that the world is interconnected now under capitalism, which means that capitalism is unable to overcome this and makes it inevitable. That was above on the sort of arguments about the now under the proper line, but one here. First on the boat deck on presumption that we can't spill up. This is a problem because they have not contested that we are able to spill up into mutual aid networks. That's a what is each way. I mean, Kutong evidence. There should be a sufficient extension as they have not warned why we can't spill up. Extinction outweighs will concede it. That's fine. On the sort of arguments about the AI being safe, we did not read an AI impact. You should learn to flow better and read the cards read in the 1AC, which means that this is not offensive to them and the sort of spillover thing that was explained above, and means that they do not have access to it. On the cap makes gross sustainable argument. No, they have not contested the specific warrants, which means they should evaluate. This is not about carbon emissions, but rather, which is what their card talks about, we're rather about how capitalism extracts resources and what that does as a result, which now justifies going onto the CIL counterpart. One, permitting new boat shields, courts of clear right housing, customary international law on the plan secures and enforceable right domestically. Their deficit is incoherent. It doesn't say the inclusion of the plan causes mootness. Far it is worse. Judicial power is still binding. This current term combines the CP's binding ruling with the plan. Two, permutation do the counterplan. The right housing of the plan and all branches that includes judicial bodies. Far 20. Guidelines for validity of the right housing states as primary duty bearers refers to all branches of government, including legislative, judicial, and quasi-judicial boundaries. Resolved Oxford 18 of doctrine accepted after careful deliberation. Thought Random House 6 a noun particularizing fact ought Merriam-Webster express obligation. And we'll do this sort of answering their sort of drop the debater argument here. No, we should not have to specify an agent until the 1AR. The net benefit is competition debates we're able to determine what the plan does. I told you, and additionally is that I told you the United States. We've just defined the United States to mean something different, which means that we are specifying agent. 3 countermeasures that can result in the plan through an alternative agent or a voting issue. Force can drive justice based on court rulings which are deleted by fiat and ensures artificial net benefits. We kill class and half-ground, shifting me from desirability to process arbitrary and unpredictable, which straight turns all their offense. 5, no CIL precedent or solvency of their author. Could make hard 202. CIL should not supersede federal laws. Conflicts normally resolve last in time. CIL does not prejudice. It is entirely arbitrary, presenting domestic law-based declarations, gives unknown power to courts at the expense of President, Congress, and states. Checked by the legislative branch, Congress, when courts hold concerns, CIL reverse the holding, and 6 courts can't implement the right housing no remedy. Carol, or actually just skip that card. We'll do the sort of the case solves the terminal. This is a laundry list of things that the app is able to overcome by ending capitalism, which means that it would spur cooperation because of human rights-based approach. We're going for the condo thing here. They have conceded that condo kills strat. This interprets court that they've gone for. Ours was a dispo based on the condition of a permutation, which means they should feel comfortable holding the trigger on condo now because it kills clash and forces a simplified straight turn on the politics yet. Winners when spending BC rebuilt the King 724. Whatever your Democrats spending the political momentum, more you exercise, more you have. Not like my resources, we do positive things. We've got more political clout. Old model outdated danger here is not doing enough. And Speaker Johnson wrecks Ukraine. Standish 1077. Johnson raised a new question over the future of U.S. aid for Ukraine. Johnson previously voted against aid to Ukraine. Johnson once again expressed concern over Ukraine funding during Fox News interview on October 26, said that aid for Ukraine and should be handled separately. Said he will not back the White House's $106 billion aid package in its current form. Experts expect a tough legislative road ahead. October 25th, he held back his views regarding Ukraine. Ultimately, you're voting affirmative because we have a definitely larger risk of case due to conceded warrants and the fact that their defense is incoherent here and cannot do it. But we're going to leave this last part. Courts can't implement the right housing no remedy. Carol Williams, Contra 23. But rights are considerably different. Housing rights fail in courts, right to education, bitch. And privacy fizzled in courts. Marked it fizzled in courts.
Cool. Starting prep now. The very last 10 seconds, was that just Karila?
Yes.
Okay. Independent reasons to reject the team.
Process
Condo.
counterplans and condo.
Process counterplans and condo. What's the violation for condo?
That you don't meet our interpretation, which means you link to our offense. Our interp was dispo solves because of the perm condition, which was the 1AC warrant.
What's the interpretation?
Dispo with the perm. So dispo with the condition of perm. That was what I said in the 1AC.
So it has to be dispo.
No, it has to be dispo and the condition has to be a permutation.
Wait, that's prep.
Alright, Jason, what's the order?
Also in the doc, it's gonna be counterplan, disad, condo bad, and then process bad.
Okay, counterplan, disad, condo bad, process bad.
Actually, it'll be case before the disad.
Okay. I'll tell you when I have the doc.
I sent the cards.
Still not yet. Okay, I got it. Let me just open that. Set a timer. So it's just the sort of
Counterplan, case, disad, condo bad, process bad.
counterplan, case, disad, condo bad, process bad.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Adam, you good?
On the counterplan, we're kicking out of it. It was just what the condition was. If you asked NCX about the condition, we would be able to kick it, and you asked us, we're kicking out of it. Pros are just a test of competition. Case. Go on case very quickly. You can accept the evidence. They can see extension always exists. There's infinite future life, and consequences matter. Disad. The disad always in turns case when it's time for a Russian victory in Ukraine happens well before any of the benefits of the plan are followed. Timer comes first. Intervening actions means it's always possible for another policy to change which shields their impact. Whereas if we die now, we can live to fight another day. Two is that a turns case. Fiat means Biden will be stretched and won't have all the resources to guarantee adequate enforcement. That means of a negative perception. All print durable fiat solves A is the issue rejected. Durable fiat is divorced from the real world. That means it don't explain feasibility. B is that pursuing Biden has exhausted all his influence and capital getting conservatives on board with the plan. There's sort of two fundamental arguments of the disad. Firstly, unique to self. Top level is that PC solves Biden is pushing for full package and is meeting with the speaker and key members of the House and has already garnered support from conservative firebrands like Mitch McConnell. That's why I can't continue evidence. And the new speaker will bring Ukraine aid to a vote. It's a top priority. Biden include $61 billion from Ukraine. Chances Wednesday that it's a top priority. We'll be talking about support to ensure Peninsula access as well. All the House Republicans are united. That costs he told reporters just opposition from many Republicans. We'll be talking about that in the coming day. And looking into border security secures the Republican votes. Just 13. Senior officials like to see a mega package of Meadows for border security and negotiation go public next week. Talks and closer to begin this week. Biden has not publicly asked. There's bipartisan support for 2 days where people are going to grow, but they're going to vote for the controversial package. Will tell legislative branch when the Senate returns and supporters have but conservative radicalism cannot torpedo it. Other 1013 virtually every Democrat favors Ukraine and Senate Republicans saying for most House Republicans other than numbers of public support remains steadfast. Survey shows 2/3 support sending additional arms. Hardly an erosion in public support. Public support dropped by just 2 points in last November. Americans remain clear, and from Mr. PC, Biden seizing it on Johnson have released 1026. Biden congratulated Johnson and urged him to help us additional funding for Ukraine. Biden showing the bipartisan security interest in Israel Ukraine protected borders and grow the economy. Winners win. I'll do the link debate here. What is PC? Even if the plan itself was bipartisan, there's still a link. There's inevitable pushback from housing developers and research need for institutional change. Coming to counter these things that says the reason pass housing multi-abilities because Biden wasn't willing to spend his political capital to get everyone on board to spending in the current Congress. New spending would be especially divisive. We just knew the face of a shutdown because Republicans do want to spend more money, but it will narrowly get Ukraine passed because it's seen as an important national issue across both sides of the aisle. Both sides of the aisle, but the plan's massive increase in federal spending makes it already wary. Republicans willing to slash Ukraine, which is warranted in our current evidence. Quote: Biden made clear top priorities were Ukraine officials cite research countries as a limiting factor, widening agenda crease challenges end quotes. And winners win is empirically false. Biden super Romanian. 21 is only the moment it won't hurt Biden and for future legislative wins. The idea legislative win because subsequent win is asking for too much. Possibly will be a springboard to all kinds of landmark legislation far from it, and wins fade from view, all defeats are forever adjustment. And the more successful he is, the more difficult he would encounter a coalition to address other problems. Policy side, when I suggested Biden gives credit, that should translate into greater piece of other problems in the key policy side. There are one solve problems fade from view, and accomplishments guarantee pushback message. 14 policy accomplishments don't have a president in a polarized environment. President's achievements generate as many enemies as friends. Obama's accomplishment and Republicans the House being predictable and general resistance on condo. top levels that we meet, they said condos a voter in the 1AC and text always on verifiability. There's no way to verify the spirit of the intern, but you can verify the text. This is functionally a new 1AR shell because they spun it to be dispo bad. The only thing in the 1AC was the condo is a voting issue. It wasn't dispo bad either. The only thing they said on dispo was that it solves the condo bad offense, not that other dispo conditions are bad. You should is new turn our counter in terms of 2 new spins of the 1 year. Everything they said in the 1 year was condo bad. The counter is not a condo, it's dispo. One counter interpretation, one dispo counterpoint. It's good. One is an excellent. Teachers the F and U friendly and all responses to it. Means the F is inevitably better prepared since Jen can have on every possible three arguments here. We give Nick the ability to choose which advocacy work best against the F for the turners to level the playing field. Counters to our persuasive spin, which is the worst fairness. 60 years since the last week's gun means our first to defend that bad advocacy throughout which to consider debate quality and always since the bad advocacy shares were rolled out pausing because of type culture different angles and choose better advocacy all the time. I was there education arguments on applicability is also key to fairness is the most predictable meaning to the base of our pre-round preparation through advocacy skills. First, they have to defend every part of the land, key to rigorous testing and better quality clash always because of the longer and empire since they keep improving their from their phones. Also, because of everything they have to do good preference and then to improve as also we create research opportunity and release also education arguments for reciprocity function as conditions to actually skip that and you should get us new turner responses. That's key for that's better for in-depth norms engagement because we get 2 speeches to contest and create better norms. Process bad. We're not a process cannibal and we don't have to have we change the agent and the action taken. Counterinterpretation we can read process cannibals if there's a clumsy advocate about the absolucy. Counterinterpretation solves other offenses. They should have researched different processes that right housing could be implemented by, especially given that the U1 which invented the concept of right housing is what the cannibal theos one is Netflix. They set the terms of debate and the plan better than us. So multiple options and ensure that Netflix and auto lose after the 1 year. Netflix are always negating its hardest. They choose aspects and get to where psychology choose that it's the most heroic policymakers consider multiple mechanisms for implementing a bill limiting themselves to one kills legislative ability to shut down how better procedure was always the whole point of a debate as a game is to simulate a real policy making. There's writing process canvas first better operating since the first child defense of their model and research work research incentives process force ground. If when the Cameroon actually no skip that they don't get 1 year they don't get 1 year theory. It's inevitably out bias 76 touchy and 2 speech means they can always prefer the Twitter and they got new Twitter they always get new Twitter responses to the counter which inevitably leads to intervention. That's bad because it takes away out the debater's hands. Go back to case I guess. There's a double line either they no link out the
Just fix this. Okay. I have a minute and 6 seconds of prep. I'll just start that timer. 1, 6. Back. For you though, the order is just going to be the case, and then it's going to be the
Case to set.
the order is the case and the dissat. Cool.
Indeed.
Ready, Anna?
1 second. Yeah.
Okay.
It is
try or die act. They've conceded the warning for soft power wars and resource wars, which makes conflict inevitable. The terminal for their disadvantage is wars everywhere as a result of Ukraine, but it's terminally non-unique because they have dropped that capitalism makes resource wars inevitable as resources run out, which is a conceded unique question coming out of the 2AC and the 1AC, which means that only we are able to solve their terminal because only the affirmative is able to end capitalism. They have conceded all of our solvency here, so you should give it 100% risk. Independently, they have dropped the terminal impact for seabed mining, which is that mining companies scrape inches off the surface of the ocean to take metal out before pumping toxic debris back into the ocean, which poisons animals and humans for miles. This cascades and caused extinction, which has not been contested. We also saw land mining, which causes warming, which was in the 1C, which means that you should give us a very high risk of this. Is outweighs on magnitude. They have not articulated why their scenario caused extinction, but we will do it here. Our scenario caused extinction because of the fact that it cascades everywhere and poisons people. That makes the water supply and things untenable. It destroys the environment, and planetary systems are also destroyed because of global biodiversity. We're winning 3 terminal impacts, which the DISAD does not have impact uniqueness here, which means that even if they win, that they are able to temporarily stop these escalations. With their evidence talk about like wars in Taiwan, like wars between China and Taiwan, or all sorts of global conflicts and energy systems and all of that. It's all inevitable because of capitalism, which means that you should vote affirmative independently of any other offense because only we have an impact that has uniqueness. We outweigh on probability. Our impact is happening now. Theirs is contingent on a link chain, whereas we have uniqueness evidence that indicates that seabed mining is ongoing and will continue to happen. We also use Ukraine as an example to prove that capitalism makes war inevitable because of fighting and infighting, because of overaccumulation. That was in the 2AC, so you should not do the work for them here. We're going on to the DISAD independently. The fact that case was dropped should shape the ballot because only the case is able to solve or have a risk of solving the terminal, because voting negative just means putting it off a little longer, but it means that wars are inevitable in the long run. We'll go on to the sort of the uniqueness debate here. We're going for this card that was read on. We're going for the we're going for the Standish evidence on the politics CA, which is that the Representative Johnson has voted against aid for Ukraine. He has expressed concern for Ukraine and does not want to give it. This evidence is newer than theirs and better. It identifies the specific motivations behind it and disproves their argument that he'll put it to vote. It means that he does not believe in it and will not do it, and it will at worst be a tough legislation ahead, which means that it does not pass now. Their evidence here ignores this, and it's older, and it also is about something. It is wrong. Our warrants answer this, and we're going sort of for the winners win argument. First, they say inevitable pushback. That's wrong because it's not seen as a loss. They haven't won. That it's seen as a loss in the first place, and that this cooperation, because it's like a muscle, the more you use it, the more it's able to do it. It builds momentum like a snowball, and means Biden is able to do it on the sort of spending priorities. No, that's backwards. We have to spend political capital to get it back. We agree with the link. We just think that we internal link turn it, which causes it on the sort of winners win being wrong for Biden. That's wrong. This evidence is older than ours and fails to take into account things like how things like how when you are able to convince a bunch of people see that he's doing well, then they think that, which is different, and that's not about this scenario independently, so it doesn't have any specificity. You shouldn't do it for them, and the sort of wins fade from views don't matter because of the fact that it is not seen as a defeat, which means there's no link to this argument, and at best we're winning. The app is able to solve it, but they have no uniqueness. The impact will happen, only app can solve.
Good debate.
see Sterling, can you tell him to come in?
Doing good. I voted F. I think extinction outweighs. There's a drop down scenario, so if I think there's a risk of defense that is had, I can feel comfortable voting F. I think there is the 2AC evidence says that Speaker Johnson is unlikely or is going to be difficult to convince to continue past the Ukraine aid, and that Biden would really need to push on in. The 2NR kind of hand waves a lot of 1AR evidence without like explicit impact calc, or at least not stuff that I could like flow to a point where I feel super comfortable voting on it. I don't think the negative evidence that you read in the 2NR is as good or is like perfect like terminal defense that would mitigate this entirely. But I think that there's enough risk that the speaker would say no to future Ukraine aid that the 100% risk of the app outweighs.
Cool.
Okay. Do you want to ask questions?
The Twitter, do you think it should spend less time on theory and instead go for like case defense?
Yeah, like just needs case defense.
Cool.
Okay. For me, I felt like, I don't know if you agree, but I felt like my 1AR was much better than my 2AR.
I mean, like, I like the 2AR was like the correct arguments, like obviously case. I don't know, like 1AR was still good. I think like you needed to put more stuff on the case page on the 1AR on like the half good stuff, a little bit more responses to like maybe some of their defense, or just like a tiny bit more time. But like it was still fine. The 2AR was good. You just need to be like sitting on one thing on the disad, right? Like drop case, 100% risk of case. So you really just need to win some defense. Just as long as you can win a piece of defense, you win the debate. So sit on one thing, whether it's winners win or it's like your 2AC, like non-unique, whatever stuff, or like says no, like the Ukraine aid thing. Just sit on just that thing, line by line all of their thing, do comparative impact calc. Our evidence is more recent for this reason. This is why our author call is specifically better. Instead of like the hot shot to or not hot shot, but like where the to where you're like just spitting out, like our evidence is more recent, assumes theirs. Well, you're not like doing the actual individual warrant comparison versus like each individual thing, which is what like a 2AR where you just sit on like either winners win or just the like 2AC evidence would be better.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I guess, what do you think would have been the best, most persuasive argument to sit on for the 2AR?
Probably like the 2AC evidence, like the guy's gonna like most likely say no, or like less likely. You could probably go for like the winners win thing if you wanna. It's like one. I don't think either one's like drastically better, but I think like the first one is good in the sense of like even if you aren't necessarily winning it, it definitely is marginal defense, or there is some risk of defense that he says no, and the card does like lend to that. Whereas like winners win feels more of like a yes/no thing, where it's like if you're losing, or if I think that he's winning, winners win, that's like 100% risk that winners win is like false or true, and vice versa. Whereas the other thing feels more like probabilistic. It's like there's a higher chance he might say no, but I don't know. That's like it's kind of up to you, honestly. Like, I think they're both equally fine.
Do you think it was the correct to include the impact uniqueness argument, like the cap makes war inevitable?
Yeah, but like it should be significantly shorter in the 2AR and only on one scenario. So like dropped, like ecological collapse, whatever. Quickly do that, then briefly capitalism makes collapse inevitable. But you shouldn't spend so much time because it's like this 2NR isn't really going for like a more structural impact. It's just like this one specific Ukraine like fast Russia war it outweighs, and it's like impact uniqueness stuff doesn't really take that out in any way, and you're not really like explicitly answering some of like the impact calc or whatever. So it's like I'm not sure what it gets you in this specific instance.
All right. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
Do you discuss speaks?
Yeah, I gave Sterling 29.2, you at 28.9. Or a 20. I forgot if it was 29 or 29. Let me check. Hold on, I'll have to check. I don't know how to check, but it's one of those two.
But, cool, thanks for your time.
Alright, yeah. I'll send you the recording later, Jason.
So,